Welcome back. You're listening to WTIM Morning Show, your information station, and we're broadcasting over the airways from our downtown Shelbyville studios. Morning Show is brought to you by these great sponsors: the Villas of Hollybrook, Shelbyville Insurance, Berkey's Farm Store, Family Drug, and Shelbyville Manor. I'm your host, Mark Sanders. And if you are just joining us, we are visiting with Derek with Shelbyville Insurance, Garrett Ulmer with Shelbyville Insurance, and of course Peyton's here in the studio with us as well, doing a great video job. And so keep your eyes open. You might see us somewhere on video live. So Garrett, let's talk about, do you think that, let me just ask, what kind of businesses are you all looking into now that might be different than what you did before?
Sure. I would say one of, Derek and I's main focus here, especially this time of year, is working with businesses on their group health insurance plan. One of the things that Derek talked about in the last session was kind of being unique and trying to provide different solutions maybe than what they have heard from their current broker or advisor as far as that goes. So we work with a lot of groups in the area, and we were just, a couple hours away the other day down south working with the business. So we kind of try to spread our wings a little bit. We do have some unique offerings and solutions when it comes to that, and trying to help a business owner understand how he can provide better benefits to his employees, and also, some cost containment strategies to help them contain the rising cost of healthcare, because it just keeps going up and doesn't seem to want to come down. I love that one. So one of the unique things that we have to offer are self-funded plans for groups as far as that goes. And we're seeing that, for most households, your health insurance is probably one of your number one costs as far as that goes for individuals. And same way for the business owner. One of their most expensive costs on their bottom line is their group health insurance plan as well. So we try to meet with them to help them get a better understanding of what's going on, and some, talk to them about some of the unique solutions that maybe they've never heard of or been advised of, ways to help control the cost for that as well. So,
well, I think most insurances, at least to my knowledge anyway, be it health insurance or whatever, you always have that upfront cost anyway, every year. It just kind of starts over again, and you're paying something up front. And so I would think if you work that into a program to where you're saving money all year long, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In today's employment marketplace, obviously it's hard to come by employees with the economy there, with everything going on. So employers, the businesses, are doing everything they can to attract and retain those key employees. And of course, like Garrett said, your health insurance, your employee benefits are usually your second largest expense right behind payroll. So at the same time, while they're trying to attract and retain with really good benefits, they also are like, we got to make sure we're keeping our cost in check. So businesses are having to, because of the cost of healthcare, get very creative with how they are administering their benefits plans and keeping those employees and attracting new employees. So there's a number of things, and the size of the employer makes a big difference in what you can do and can't do as far as risk goes. And like Garrett said, the self-funded side is where we see a lot of groups moving to, and people get very scared when you say self-funded, because they're like, well, what if one of my employees has $1 million claim? There's insurance policies and there's practices in place to protect your organization against those large claims. Although it said the terminology is self-funded, it's actually partially self-funding, because you're only paying for a certain portion of those employees' claims up front. Then there's an insurance policy called stop loss behind the scenes that protects the employer, and it makes it, once you figure out how it works, it reduces the volatility of healthcare for those organizations. So it allows them to do some unique things.
So the term I've heard often that calls people to, gasp and something, catastrophic.
Right.
But
exactly.
You're talking about protecting even the employer.
Exactly.
From those catastrophic.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And yet, when you hear folks talk about their employment and so on, just as you've said, you always hear, well, hey, this gives us good benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's why I'm working at this time. I need those benefits.
Yeah.
We know it to be, and we've had enough discussions that it typically, if you ask an individual that's looking for a job, one of the first things that they look at is the benefits package, like you mentioned. How can they protect themselves or their family? And once they, the expense look like to them. So it's definitely something that keeps going up and opening more people's eyes as we continue to meet with them and provide some solutions for us.
With and this may stray away just a little bit away from insurance, but the job market is really crazy.
Sure.
Right now, isn't it?
It is. It is. Yeah. And you look at small businesses, middle market businesses, which is mostly what we have in our area. It's a struggle for them because they've got jobs that they can do. They've got work. They're right now at this point in time, business is fairly good for most businesses, but they cannot find enough help to keep up with the demand. So, you can tie that back into the benefits. So we've seen a huge uptick in the smaller businesses that maybe have 3, 4, 5 employees that are coming to us that never had before, saying, hey, we need to figure out a way to attract and retain our employees because we can't keep up and we've got to keep our employees on board and get some new ones here. So seen a lot of smaller businesses who are wanting to offer some plans, and we can get kind of creative with the options we have to help contain that cost, while at the same time keeping those employees happy, making sure that they are covered and have financial transfer if they do have those big health insurance claims.
And we're going to have to leave on that high note because we're coming up against our break. Garrett, great to see you.
Good to see you,
Derek. And thanks for joining us this morning, Peyton. And,
good to see you all.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully we can have you back again really soon.
Love to do it.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us. When you're listening to WTIM, your information station, we're coming to you live from our downtown Shelbyville studio. Back after this short break.